In the heart of the bustling village of Meland, there lived a girl named Amara, renowned for her beauty and charm. Her skin was as smooth and dark as polished ebony, her eyes sparkled like stars, and her smile could melt the hardest of hearts. But beneath her alluring exterior lay a mind as sharp as a blade and a heart that knew how to play the game of deception to perfection. Amara was not born into wealth. She grew up in a modest hut at the edge of the village, where she learned early on that beauty was a currency more valuable than gold. Her mother, a wise woman who had seen the world's hardships, often reminded her, "Use what you have, Amara, and the world will bend to your will." And Amara did just that. The village of Meland was home to many rich men who prided themselves on their wealth and status. They flaunted their riches with opulent homes, lavish feasts, and extravagant gifts. Amara saw these men as opportunities. She would seduce them with her beauty, charm them with her wit, and leave them craving for more while skillfully extracting wealth from their pockets. One such man was Bakery, a wealthy merchant who was known for his fine silks and spices. He was captivated by Amara from the moment he first laid eyes on her. At a grand festival celebrating the harvest, Bakery approached her, his eyes filled with desire. "Amara," Bakery said, his voice dripping with admiration, "your beauty outshines the moon tonight. Would you honor me with a dance?" Amara smiled coyly, her eyes twinkling. "Of course, Bakery. But I must warn you, I am a woman who values her independence." As they danced, Amara skillfully wove tales of her dreams and desires, subtly hinting at the need for financial security. Bakery, eager to please her, promised her gifts and wealth beyond her wildest dreams. Over the next few weeks, Bakery lavished Amara with expensive gifts, jewelry, fine clothes, and rare perfumes. Yet, every time he tried to take their relationship further, Amara would demur, teasing him just enough to keep him hooked. One evening, as they strolled through the market, Bakery grew impatient. "Amara, I have given you everything you desired. When will you be mine?" Amara looked at him with a mixture of innocence and seduction. "Patience, Bakery. The sweetest fruits take time to ripen." While Bakery waited, Amara set her sights on another target, Deo, the chief's son. Deo was handsome and powerful, accustomed to getting what he wanted. He was immediately drawn to Amara, her beauty and mystery intriguing him. "Amara, you are unlike any woman I have ever met," Deo confessed during a moonlit walk by the river. "I must have you as my own." Amara laughed softly, her voice like music. "Deo, you flatter me. But a woman like me needs more than just words." Deo, eager to prove himself, began to shower Amara with wealth, just as Bakery had. Gold coins, precious stones, and even a horse from his father's stables, all found their way into Amara's possession. As the months passed, Amara continued to weave her web of deception, ensnaring more wealthy men in her trap. There was Kofi, the village healer, who believed Amara's beauty was a gift from the gods and was willing to give her anything to be close to her. And then there was Tand, the fisherman, whose catches were the envy of the village markets. Each man fell under her spell, giving her more and more, while Amara remained just out of reach. One day, while Amara was enjoying the luxury of her new life, a young woman named Zay approached her. Zay was known for her intelligence and her keen sense of justice. She had been watching Amara's antics and decided it was time to confront her. "Amara, we need to talk," Zay said, her voice firm. Amara looked up, surprised. "What is it, Zay? Why the stern face?" Zay crossed her arms. "I know what you've been doing. You've been conning the men of this village, taking their money and giving them false hope." Amara's eyes narrowed. "And what of it? They give willingly. I'm simply taking what is offered." Zay shook her head. "It's not right, Amara. You're playing with people's hearts and lives. You can't continue like this. Amara laughed, a cold, calculating sound. And who will stop me? You. These men are fools, blinded by their desire. They deserve to be taught a lesson. Zoe frowned. This isn't about teaching lessons. It's about you taking advantage of people. Sooner or later, your luck will run out. Amara waved her off. We'll see about that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have plans to make. As Zoe walked away, she couldn't shake the feeling that Amara's comeuppance was imminent. She decided to keep a closer eye on her, waiting for the right moment to intervene. Meanwhile, Amara's web of deceit began to tangle. Bakery, still obsessed, started to grow suspicious of her constant delays. He confided in Deo, hoping to find solace, but instead discovered that Deo, too, was under Amara's spell. Furious and feeling betrayed, the two men devised a plan to expose her. The annual village council meeting provided the perfect opportunity. All the influential men of Maryland would be there, and Bakery and Deo intended to confront Amara publicly, forcing her to confess her schemes. Please leave a like and subscribe. On the day of the meeting, Amara arrived, draped in the finery she had amassed from her suitors. She moved gracefully among the crowd, unaware of the storm brewing around her. Bakery and Deo watched her, their anger barely contained. As the meeting commenced, Bakery stood up, his voice booming. I have an issue that must be addressed. It concerns the deceitful actions of a certain woman in this village. The crowd murmured in surprise as Bakery continued. Amara, step forward. Amara, sensing danger, hesitated. But she knew she had to face them. With her head held high, she walked to the center of the gathering. What is this about, Bakery? She asked, her voice steady. Bakery pointed an accusing finger at her. You have been playing us all for fools. You seduced us with your beauty, took our wealth, and gave us nothing in return. Deo and I are not the only ones. Tell them, Amara. Tell them how you conned us all. The crowd gasped, and whispers spread like wildfire. Amara's heart raced, but she kept her composure. She knew her next words could either save her or ruin her. Bakery, Deo, she began, her voice calm but firm. Yes, I accepted your gifts, and I spent time with you. But I never promised anything beyond that. You gave willingly, hoping to win my favor. Is it my fault that you mistook my kindness for something more? Deo stepped forward, his face twisted with anger. You led us on, Amara. You knew exactly what you were doing. Amara met his gaze. Perhaps I did. But it takes two to play this game, Deo. You wanted me, and you were willing to pay any price. Who is the greater fool? The crowd fell silent, the tension palpable. Just then, Zoe stepped forward, her voice ringing with authority. Amara is right. She played the game, but you chose to participate. Let this be a lesson to us all about the dangers of greed and desire. The elders, after much deliberation, decided that while Amara's actions were morally questionable, the men were equally at fault for allowing themselves to be deceived by their own desires. They decreed that the matter be settled privately, without further public humiliation. As the crowd dispersed, Amara approached Zoe. Thank you, Zoe. You didn't have to defend me. Zoe smiled faintly. I wasn't defending you, Amara. I was defending the truth. Remember what I said, you can't keep doing this forever. Amara nodded, a glimmer of respect in her eyes. I understand. Perhaps it's time for a new chapter. With her wealth intact but her reputation tarnished, Amara decided to leave Maryland. She had played her game well, but now it was time to seek a new beginning. She traveled to distant lands, using her cunning and charm to build a new life, this time with a different approach, one that balanced her wit with integrity. Years later, stories of a beautiful, wealthy woman named Amara who built schools, funded hospitals, and helped the poor began to circulate. She had learned her lessons well, transforming her cunning into a force for good. And though the men of Melon still spoke of the woman who had once beguiled them all, they also spoke of the redemption that had followed. Amara's legacy became one of transformation and growth, a testament to the power of change and the enduring allure of a truly beautiful heart.